everybody, it's Tommy Jo from Bird Street Studio, and I'm here to do the 50 Stack Challenge, hashtag 50 Stack Challenge 8. It's hosted by Amy. Amy is Crafty Cat 7212 on YouTube, and she's Crafty Cat 72 on Instagram. And Amy also has an Etsy shop where she is Crafty Cat USA. And I have bought a few of her digitals and I absolutely love them. So you might want to hop out and check out her Etsy shop and see if there's anything there that you really like. I've been very happy with what I've purchased from her. So moving on. So this week is week 8, and week 8 is prompts 15 and 16, and prompt 15 was grid. Prompt 16 is whimsy. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make one piece that combines those two things, because I cut out some whimsical pieces earlier that are going to go in a journal that I'm making for my niece for her new baby. And I thought I could incorporate grid and whimsy together, but I'll also make another one maybe just to put in my idea book. So I'm going to move this aside and let me show you what I did. This idea actually came from a video I watched this morning. Actually, it was early this morning, and it was a video by Rita Jensen. And I think she said that she got the idea from Amity Bloom from like 5 or 6 years ago, but Amity Bloom made it out of an envelope and Rita altered the idea, and so that we could use paper. And that's what I loved, is that I can use paper. So let me show you what she made. She made one of these. And if you lift it up, this unfolds, and then there's a pocket in here, and you've got writing space. Originally, this was an envelope, so the envelope would be here, and Amity Bloom folded in the edges of the envelope. But if you imagine, you'd have to have a pretty big envelope, or this would end up being very small. So anyways, this is what we're going to make. I will embellish the one that I'm going to put in my niece's journal. The other one, like I said, I think I'm going to put in my, maybe I'll put this in my idea book. I don't know, this is kind of pretty. I might want to use it. But either way, the second one I won't embellish, we'll just make one. So let me show you what we did. So Rita took double-sided paper. So this is double-sided, and this is the one I want to use for my niece's journal with the grid on it. And I want this grid on the inside so that you could use it for writing if you want. And you want to pay attention to the direction. So this paper kind of is this direction if I fold it up. So I'm going to turn it, because this side is pretty blank. And this side, when I turn it down, then will be right side up. Okay? So let me show you what she did. She took this, and this is going to be our flap. Okay? And she made the flap about 2 3/4 inches. So I'm looking at my mat here, and I've got, like from here, we've got 1, 2 3/4. So if I hold this here, I want this to go about there. And then if I fold it, it'll be at about 2 3/4. Okay? I think I have my bone folder over here somewhere. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And then this side, which is going to be our bottom piece, is going to go up. She did 3 inches. So I will figure 3 inches would be only to there. Yeah, that would be pretty good. And it doesn't have to be exact. This is just going to give you a quick idea of what it could be. And if your paper is a little bit different size than this, then your piece would be a different size. I like this size. So actually, I'm folding this a little over 3 inches, I think. Yep. If I do that, then we're at about 3 1/4. Something like that. Okay? The only thing you want to be sure is that these overlap. Okay? So that's what we've got. Then what you want to do is you want to fold both sides into the middle. Okay? So we want to find our middle, which means if I hold this out and this is 8 1/2 inches, I want to mark it at about 4 1/4. So 4 1/4 is about right there. So I'm going to make a really light line. And I want to fold this into here to this line. And we've got layers of paper here, so there's going to be some trimming involved because this is not rocket science by any means. Okay, and then this one's going to go into there. Okay, now if you wanted to mass make, let's do it this way. I'm going to make this the inside, and this looks like the paper is going sideways, so it really doesn't matter what you do. So let's fold this to about 3 inches, a little over 3 inches, like that. Our top flap would be about 2 3/4. 2 3/4 would be about, there's 2. We can do about, I hold this, I'm looking at this 10 and this is 2 1/2. So I want to actually go a little bit further than that. So I'm just going to guess and go there. May not be 2 3/4. Let's see what it is. It is 1, 2, and almost 3/4. So we did good. And then we want to find our center. So I'm going to hold it on the 10 mark right here on the 10 inch. And I want to go to 4 1/4. So that would be about right there. Make a mark, and we want to fold this in. And I'm making sure that my top is even. And you want to bring this one in to meet it. Okay. So like I said, if you're going to mass make, you can do all these like this, you know, just make these. So the next step is to totally open it up, and you'll see where we have our, we're going to cut out these 4 outside corners. So I'm going to, I know that when I did it, I had to kind of angle it, but I'm not going to really angle it just yet. I'm going to just cut up here. Maybe I'll angle it a little, because when you fold it, it becomes problematic. So you want to make sure that you angle that just a little bit. It's kind of like a miter, but it's so slight that you probably wouldn't even know it. When we go to glue it, you'll see it a little tiny bit. And you can trim it out once you're done. you'll see when you go to fold it and glue it, you'll see what needs to be trimmed out, because it folds on itself if you don't cut it exactly, which I never do. I'm really not good at exact. I try to be. Okay, so what you do is, it's really easy. If you just look here, you've got about 3.5, and here you've got 2 3/4. So you know this is your top flap. So this is going to go in here. These are going to get folded in, and I could hear that kind of scrunching a little bit when I folded it, because right here I need to trim just a smidge. When I went to fold it, I could hear the paper kind of scrunch up a little bit. Literally, it was just a hair. So let's see. Much better, much better. And then if you need it to meet exactly, you'll want to cut a little bit off of the side again. This is where you kind of trim it out or whatever. There's your basic piece right there. I'm going to trim these as well. The doors, what I call the doors. I think Rita called them a door, because they seem to come together kind of like French doors. So I'm, again, just trimming a tiny bit off, like a kind of a mitered edge. Not very much, but just a little tiny bit. Okay. See how that falls. Much better. That's a little better. Again, I want them to be right close together, like this. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and cut these out as well, and then I'm going to do like miter the corner just a little bit. This one's a little hard to see. Because of the design, it's a little hard to see. Again, this is not rocket science. This is just you make it to work. Okay, so there we go. They're a little different in size, just about the same. So if you were going to mass make, you could do it this far. You could also go further if you want. But the next thing that Rita did was she made a thumb notch on what we're going to call our pocket, which is right here. So I'm going to just guesstimate where the middle is, somewhere around here. Do that on this one as well. Now, if you didn't want to make a pocket, you could just leave that flat, don't make a thumb notch, and it would fold down for writing. That's up to you. And the next thing we want to do is we want to distress all of the edges, and remember, you're going to see a lot of the inside. So I'll either fast forward you or I will cut away and come back. I'm practicing using iMovie on my new iMac, so I'm not really sure how that works. Oh, you know what I want to do next is we want to round the corners first before I do any distressing. So we want to, this is going to be our flap and these are going to be our doors. So we want to round the top corners of our doors right here. I'm going to use my 1/2 inch round. The same on the side. Okay, and I'm going to do that the same on these as well. And I'm using the 1/2 inch because I mitered the corner, so it can't get in there really tight to make a really big curve. Okay, and then we want to also round our tops, our top piece, and you can either cut it or you can use your corner rounder. I think Rita actually made a curve and went down, but I'm just going to use my corner rounder. So now we've got rounded corners here, so when we tuck this in, it'll look like this. And I think Rita actually came down and kind of made it more of a like an envelope type thing. I don't know, but I like it like this. So I'm going to do the same to this one, and how you can get them the same is just by, you kind of fold it, but you don't want to make a crease. So anybody that's done this a while knows this little trick, but for all beginners, if you just don't make the crease there, you can go ahead and round your corner or make your corners the same, however you want to do that, and they'll right up. So let's put this aside and let's get our glue. I'm going to use my mixture glue. Oh, now we want to distress. Yeah, now we want to distress. But I better take a sip of my coffee first. Okay. And this is where I said I'll probably either speed it up or cut away and come back. However, I figure out how to do that on iMovie. So if we totally open it up, we can get all of our outside edges pretty good. You don't really need to do the inside of this pocket. It's just easier for me to just totally flip around the page here. But if you don't want to waste your ink, you don't need to do this part right here, okay? Because that's going to get glued up. All right? Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we want to glue our pocket. So let's do it on this one. All we need to do is put a line of glue right here on this side and a line on this side. I just want to make sure there's not so much glue that when I fold my sides in, they stick. So we're going to just let that one dry and we'll do our other one. what's nice about this is having the grid paper or the graph paper inside. It's good for journaling, right? Okay, so this one is I'm not gonna embellish this at all right now, but this one I do want to, and I'm not sure how, but I do want to. So I want to put something on here that will kind of hold this closed, and we could put a piece of, let me see what I have. This is all the pieces I'm working with. Oh, that might be kind of cute, huh? This little piece right here. Or we could use one of these. This would be kind of cool. Oh, I think I like that. So I'm going to cut out one of these. Look at that green one. I think I'm going to use that one. So I'm going to cut it out. We'll see what we can do with it. It needs to be probably mounted on a piece of cardstock, which I have over here on my left. Oh yeah, I like that. I do. Okay. So I'm thinking that I don't want it all the way up to there. So let's cut this right here. Okay, I want to distress it just because I want to look and see if I'm sure that that's what I want to do. And if it is, then I'll go ahead and mount it, and we'll have to distress it again once we cut it out. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what I want to do. Okay, so we want to put it on a piece of cardstock. So let me see what we have in here. It might be wide enough. I think I want something a little darker. Here's brown. A brown color, that's kind of nice. Kind of plain. Kind of plain, Tommy, kind of plain. I thought I had brown or, yeah, we don't want purple. A little bit too bright. I think I kind of like that. What do we got here? What have we got here? Little orange. I kind of like that. Okay, we're going to go with this little bit of orange right here. These are 6x6 pieces that I got a long time ago, and I haven't used them, so I think we're going to go ahead and glue that on, and then I'll cut it out. And I could use my cutter, but I think this is just as easy. Trim just a smidge off here. And then what we want to do is we don't want to glue it all down. We want to glue just one side of it. So I'm going to hold it here and see, we've got it at 2 1/4. So I want to do about 1 1/8, which is about here. So I'm going to glue on just one side. Like right about there. And I want it to stick onto, doesn't matter which side you do, but let's do this side. Okay, and then what I do is I want it down towards the bottom. So I'm going to open this up and put it right about on the line, like that. Watch the glue that you get all over everything, Tommy. Okay, so that's kind of heavy enough to hold the doors closed. And the next thing we want to do is, I hit the camera, sorry. Okay. So the next thing we want to do is we want to put an eyelet right here. So I'm going to use one of these kind of coppery colored ones. I think I have a darker one. Let me see. Yep, I like the darker color. So first we want to make a hole. And what I want to do is, this is just thin paper. So I want to put a piece of something across here. And why don't we make it this? So if I cut this here, this is just going to make it sturdier for this eyelet to go through. Okay, and I'm going to hold that there. And we want to cut right here. Then I'm going to go ahead and glue that with just my glue stick. Would be perfect. Oops, I'm off camera, sorry. Okay, I just want to put that on with my glue stick. The top, side to side. And then I want to go ahead and cut my corners, or excuse me, round my corners again. And I best do that with my scissors because it's got glue on it. So I want to take my scissors that I don't care as much about. We're just gonna cut that and then do the same here. I've got to trim this side just a little and then cut that. And then I want to go ahead and distress this. And that'll give us something to hold that eyelet a little better. Okay, so now we want to poke our hole. Kind of in the middle-ish. Yep, and then we want to put our eyelet in. Perfect. Like that. We want to decorate our pocket with whimsy. And I kind of thought I'd try using a character. Maybe this. I have some that are smaller, but these are so cute. Oh, look at her. Look at her. I'll bet if I cut her edges off, she would fit on there, and she is just as cute as a button. And then will this fit on here as well? Yes. Oh, I love it. So let's trim her out a little bit. I just love her. Okay, we need to trim whatever's the height up here. Whatever this height is that's giving us a headache, a little bit of a headache. Might be able to come in here, cut there, and cut that off a little bit and see if that will work. Oh, she clears. I'm going to cut her in just a little bit more. You can't have a lot of the outer edge. If you cut most of it off of one area, you kind of have to cut it off of other areas, or it looks like lopsided. Honestly, I think if we leave a little bit, we're okay, as long as we maybe distress her a little bit. Let's see. Well, my golly George, she fits. Okay, let's distress our little fake succulent here. I thought that was so cute with the little eyes, the little face on it. Okay, so we are combining our grid with our whimsy. I kind of am liking, I don't know if I want her right there and then this right here. Do you think? I think so. I think she looks really cute. So let's go ahead and put this down. These are printed out. I printed these out on a 60-pound hammer mill cardstock, so it's a lightweight, almost like a matte photo paper. Oh my gosh, she is so cute. Okay, now that I think about it, I think Amy showed an owl in her video that she did. It was really cute. And so now I'm putting an owl in here, so it's got to count for something, right? Something, something. Oh my gosh, how cute is that? And then I'll make a tag or something to go in here. Oh my gosh, how cute. Okay, and then you can either hang something off here. Oh my gosh, we need to put something else cute in here. Let me look and see what else I have. I could maybe put on her on the ooh, I like that. Ooh, I like that too. Okay, but let's see what we have for, oh my heck. Oh, these graphics are just the cutest. Oh, look at this one. She's carrying a little pot. I think that's the one I need to use. And then let's should we put this behind her and then put her like right there? I love it. Now these pieces are leftover pieces of book page. You know when you rip off the edge between the text and the edge of the paper and you end up with a piece of book page? And I just stamped on it with wild honey. That's it. I mean, so easy. I'm going to put these back in here. Okay, let's get her on there. I'm not going to distress this because I like the difference here. And I'm going to use my glue stick because it is book page and it's very thin. Okay, I'm going to put that right about there in the middle, sort of. And she's a little heavier, like I said, they're on 60-pound Hammermill color copy cardstock, I think it is. So it's like photo paper, really nice paper. Okay. I just don't want all that glue seeping out. If I don't have to have it seeping out, I would appreciate it. Let's put her right here. I love that. And then we can either dangle something or you can just put a tie around it. And I'm thinking, let me see if I have, I don't know if I have any kind of ribbon that would match that. We have orange. Or I don't have any little dangles that really match. I have red and pink. So let me see what else we have for ribbon. Do we have any? Oh, you know what I have is I have this color. Will that match? I think it might. How much? Oh, I don't have a lot. I probably don't have enough to run that through there. Yeah. It's like double pieces. And then it looks like somebody tried to I won't say who, but her name begins with a T. Tried to pin that on there and broke the pin. You know what I do have? I do have thread. that I think would really match pretty. So let's use this. So I'm thinking we could just do a quick wrap like that. There we go. You could tie, we could tie it, I guess, tie a bow in it. Or we could do one over the top, one over the bottom. Let me see what that if that works. We do one over the top and come around like this, and then tie a bow. It's pretty, but I'll be honest with you, I like the whole thing. I like the whole thing going right around. Yep. There we go. So I hope you like this for our 50 stack challenge 8. Thank you, Amy, for hosting. I'm going to be excited to put this in the journal for my niece. But anyways, this was the sample one I did. We hung something off here, and we need to put a tag in there when we figure out what it's going in. And this is the one that's going in my journal, and then this is the one that's going to go in my thing to be decorated when I decide where I want to use it. Rita Jensen, thank you for the idea. It's wonderful. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a great day. Thank you to my subscribers, past, present, and future, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye bye, everybody.